Satan shoes. What does that even mean? I always envisioned the Prince of Darkness being more of a hoof kind of guy. You know, Baphomet with the horns and the beard and the you know, the hooves, like a satyr or whatever. Anyway, I don't know. Lil Nas X. Oh man, Lil Nas X. So I am a hip hop fan. I will give you that. In my young, I won't even tell you some of the stuff I used to listen to. I don't like to listen to, you know, stuff that's explicit and explicit lyrics and stuff like that. I feel like what you feed in your mind, you know, eventually affects you in different ways and affects your attitude. It affects the way you speak. I'm not judging anybody who does. You know, hey, you do you. I mean, it's not even a religious thing for me. I am a very religious person, I guess, but it's not even that for me. It's really just the fact that I like to watch. So it does go back to religion, I guess, in a way, or my faith, because I do want to treat people the way I want to be treated. I want to make sure that I'm a good influence, I guess, on younger people around me. I don't know. And I think a lot of times it's distasteful when people use, you know, certain language. And anyway, so long story short, I don't know. I just, for me, I don't listen to things with explicit lyrics, and that excludes a lot of hip hop for me. But I do like hip hop a lot, and there's a few artists that I like particularly. When I was younger and didn't care so much about what I listened to to Eminem, and I will still say that Eminem is one of the best, if not the best, lyricist ever in history. Tell me if you think differently in the comments, but you know, I appreciate guys who can really put a song together, a verse together, and really say something, deliver something. I mean, so, you know, Old Town Road isn't exactly, you know, intelligent, highbrow stuff, but then again, it's not exactly, you know, explicit and raunchy either. So it is what it is. But what I like, you know, is somebody who is very articulate, I guess. That's, you know, unlike me at the moment. Articulate. Eminem is one of those. Of course, he's also violent, filthy. You know, his language is, yeah, you know. Anyway, so I really like NF. By the way, if you don't know NF, really like NF. I actually really like Kanye West's Jesus is King album. I know that's a little bit of gospel and hip hop kind of thing. I really like an artist called Guante, and Guante does hip hop. He does poetry. He does mostly his hip hop albums are with a producer called Big Cats, actually. And Big Cats, his name is Spencer Worth Davis is actually his name, but he goes by Big Cats, and that's who produced the intro music for the Hoosier Hustle channel. So, but Guante is a great rapper, great poet, and eventually, you know, sometimes, every now and then in his music, there's some, you know, explicit lyrics. You know, there's some stuff that's definitely not for kids, not exactly wholesome, but for the most part, he's what I call a conscience rapper, or a conscious rapper, however you want to say it. He is rapping about things that matter, you know, about, and again, I don't necessarily agree with him on politics. You know, a lot of he's talking about income inequality and things sometimes, which I do think it's a problem. I don't think the government is the answer, but that's neither here nor there. We won't get into politics. Ooh, yeah, good way to ruin a channel, right? Yeah, we'll just avoid the politics. But just suffice it to say, he's great at what he does. So there's a few rappers out there that I like. The Roots, those guys are great. Again, you know, you're going to get some explicit stuff every now and then, but the Roots were a great group. Anyway, long story short, I'm not a fan of Lil Nas X. It didn't really affect me either way. But this whole... I'm not going to get... this is not the place for this. So I'm not going to get into the whole music video thing. But again, you know, not my cup of tea. I'm obviously not a Satanist. I'm not going to I'm not going to get too much into that. Let me just say this. Lil Nas X is trolling the religious conservatives with this video. That's exactly what he's doing. It's a big 2 middle fingers up to all the people that told him that he was a sinner and he was going to hell or whatever because he was gay. I get that. That's basically his whole thing. And you know, at the end of the video, and I'm not encouraging anyone to watch it. I have all kinds of issues with it. You know, I'm not personally offended by it, although it is very offensive to my faith and my religion. But I try not to get offended. I believe that Christians should be unoffendable. So even though it is offensive to my belief system, I don't personally take offense at it. So, but that's a little philosophy of mine. But anyway, at the end, he snaps the devil's neck and takes his horns and puts them on his own head and crowns himself as his own god. The interesting thing about that being that most people like Lil Nas X, if Lil Nas X is a Satanist, which I would argue that he actually is, I would argue that whether he even admits it or not, he is. And what most Satanists will tell you is that they don't believe in Satan. They actually don't believe in Satan. They don't believe that Satan is an actual being, spiritual, physical, or otherwise. They don't believe in God. They don't believe in the devil. They believe in themselves, and they are their own God. And but if you talk to someone from the Church of Satan, they will tell you that Satanism is about being you and doing what you want. It's basically humanism. Now, are there people in history who have sacrificed babies to Baphomet or whatever? Yeah, sure. But that's not what modern Satanism looks like. It looks like worshiping yourself, basically. So I would venture to say that if that's the definition of Satanism, then yeah, sure, Lil Nas X is probably a Satanist. But, you know, and that's probably the most satanic thing that you can do is what he does in the end of that video, which is symbolic of him making himself God and you know, Satan, which if you're a Satanist, then, you know, technically, I guess your God would be Satan. But it's a whole lot of philosophy, really, to get to what Satanists actually believe and what the video really means. But the video, and this is for, I don't even remember the name of the song now. What is his name? Montero or who knows, something like that. Anyway, it's actually his real first name. His real first name isn't Lil, which I didn't know that, but he wasn't born Lil Nas X. So whatever, Montero or something like that is what the song's called, I think, and it's his real first name. So, and what he's saying is basically, I'm tired of being ashamed of who I am. I'm gonna embrace it, and I'm gonna, you know, I don't care what any of y'all think. I'm my own God, basically. And, you know, while I can appreciate the sentiment of not beating yourself up over others' opinions, the whole making yourself your own God thing, you know, I have to, you know, I don't like that. You know, that's just because I believe that is exactly what Satanism is. You know, I think that that's dangerous. I don't think that you necessarily have to be, you know, I'm a Christian. I don't think you have to be a Christian to do good things or to be a good person. But I do believe that if you're a Satanist or a humanist even, that it can be a dangerous place because, yeah, sure, you can do good things for other reasons, but the whole premise of Satanism, you know, the first commandment in the Satanic Bible, the only commandment actually, is, I may misquote this, but I believe it goes like this: do as thou wilt, that shall be the whole of the law. In other words, do whatever you want. That's the only law there is. So much easier than the 613 commandments of Judaism or the 10 commandments in Christianity. Just one. Do whatever you want. So you can see why that would be dangerous. And that's my problem with Satanism. You know, beyond that, I, as a Christian, believe that what I believe is right and true and good, and I try to share it with people, but I'm also not going to force it on people, and I respect other people having their own opinions and their own belief systems and all that. But that's why I think Satanism is dangerous. That's why I'm opposed to it. Now, not legally. I think in our country, even if you do believe in something as dangerous, potentially dangerous as Satanism, that you have a legal right to believe it. So I won't go down that road, but I also won't support it. So with the shoes, so this is what it brings me to, I guess. This is what the point of this video is. Satan shoes. Lil Nas X teamed up with MSCHF, which is MSCHF, I think is how they spell that. Clever and edgy, right? Just take out the vowels, I think is what they do. Anyway, MSCHF and Lil Nas X. So I'm curious, would it be, I guess you wouldn't want to do Lil Nas X MSCHF. You probably want to do MSCHF X Lil Nas X. I don't know. You know how they do the X, like when companies do collabs? Yeah. It would look weird to have two X's right next to each other. Anyway. So this MSCHF X Lil Nas X collab. Basically, they're taking Nikes and, like, what are they, Nike Air 97s or something, and they're making them, they're customizing them with a Bible verse on the side, which is Luke, what is that verse? Luke 10:18, maybe? Something like that, which is something to the effect of, I beheld Lucifer or Satan, whatever, fall from the sky like a bolt of lightning or something along those lines. Can't quote it exactly, but yeah, basically I saw Lucifer fall from the sky like a bolt of lightning. So it's about the fall of Satan, and he references that in the video when he becomes Satan, as he descends from heaven down into hell on this stripper pole. Anyway, so it's got the Bible verse on there referencing Satan. It's got, red and black, which I kind of like the color scheme, actually. Red and black's cool. But it's got, like, pentagrams on it. The website is satan.shoes, I think. What else? It's got a drop of human blood in the sole, I think. And they're only making 666 pair. So Nike wanted to be clear that they're not involved. Nike wants nothing to do with it. And with good reason. There's been a lot of backlash. So, they didn't support this. It's not a collab with Nike. MSCHF does this kind of stuff. They did Jesus shoes a couple years ago that had holy water in the sole. They just try to trigger people. And, their thing is, and I get it. I mean, I get it, man. It's, if you want to, it's like Supreme, I guess. It's not for everybody. But, you find your core customers, and it may be a small portion of the population, but if you charge enough, that's fine. So you've got some absolutely rabid fans that will pay any amount, and you can make killer money even if you're only selling to 1,000 people, or 666 people for that matter. So, I understand what they're doing. They're like their marketing strategy with that. I'm not comfortable with is contributing to it. I would never buy those shoes to resell because I don't support what they're promoting, really, So that's my answer. I wouldn't buy them. Can you make money? Do I think that now Nike may succeed in not allowing it to happen and shutting the whole operation down. And if Nike succeeds, then it'll be a non-issue. But if they don't succeed, the shoes go to market. If you could cop a few pair for, whatever the price is, I don't know, $1,000 or whatever, I'm sure you could sell them on eBay 6 months later, or a month later for that matter, a week later, for $4,000 or $5,000, if not more. So is there an opportunity there for arbitrage? Yeah, if you're so inclined, sure. It's something, though, again, that I'm not willing to wrap up my time and energy in. I just think the whole thing is very negative. I think it's negative on the part of the people that are attacking Lil Nas X because it offends their sensibilities. But I think it's negative on the part of MSCHF and Lil Nas X because it is promoting an ideology that basically says I'm the only thing that matters. And I believe in putting others first. And I think for me this goes deeper even than my Christian beliefs. It goes deeper than that. I just think that's part of being human. And there's two sides to our nature. And if you're only feeding that selfish side, in dangerous territory, and you're really a dangerous person. So, will I buy Satan shoes? No. Will I try? Would I even pick them up if I found Satan shoes in a thrift store for $5 and they were selling for $5,000 on eBay? Would I pick them up? No, I still wouldn't. Now, if it was something else, I may feel differently about it. This one, I just can't be conscious to it. And for me, that's personal. That's because of my personal beliefs, my faith, whatever, stuff like that. But just in general, I don't think it's. I think that this whole thing is an example of losing the script. I think what he was going for was his empowerment. Like, I'm not going to let other people, hold me down or define me or shame me or make me hate myself anymore. And, that, good for you. I mean, I think it's good to not let people other people control your life. Sure, it's your life. Live it. But I think he's taking it too far. I think this is taking it too far. I think the concept of nobody else matters, period. I am the only one that matters. I'm my own God. Is taking that whole concept too far and to a place that's not healthy for him, not healthy for society, not healthy for anybody. Really. So anyway, I just all around toxic. So I vote no on the Satan shoes.